Hello and welcome to my channel. My channel is dedicated to exposing what's to a lies, deception and cover up. My name is Marcy and I was one of Jehovah's Witnesses for over 30 years. I served as a regular pioneer for 10 of those years. I was first contacted in the door-to-door ministry back in 1987 and I finally left the organisation in 2022. This video is a bit of a catch-up video with some of the things that have been going on in my life recently. And one of the most exciting things that I've got to tell you about is that I was interviewed for another YouTuber's channel, and that's XJW Karen Saunders and her channel Bringing Down the Tower. And she wanted to know my story of how I became a witness, what it was that woke me up, why I became a phaser in opposition to becoming disassociated, why I made the choice to become a phaser. And what was it that, how I would sum up leaving the watchtower and what it's meant to my life. So it's a very, I feel very honoured to have been invited to such a channel to be interviewed, and I hope that her viewers enjoy watching that interview and learning a little bit about me. I want to thank any of Karen's viewers who've flipped over to my channel to have a look at some of my videos. I want to say welcome to my channel as well, and I hope that you find it informative. So what the video has actually done, it's made me think about some of the things that I went through as a Jehovah's Witness. And, I was talking about the opposition that I felt, that I experienced when I became a baptised witness. And it came from my husband and husband's family. And it became very extreme right up to getting baptised. And after getting baptised, it continued to worsen. Some of the things that I experienced were my husband would lock me in the house or lock me out of the house. If I'd been to the meeting, he'd lock me out. Or he'd lock me in and we locked in for days. He burnt my books. He used to be very abusive. He became physically violent. There's a lot of things that, I put up with and I'd forgotten about because it's such a long time ago now. We split up the year 1993, which was the year after I got baptised, because it became so extreme. I left the house, I became homeless, and I left under police escort due to domestic violence. Up to getting baptised, as I said, it increased. And when I got baptised, the experiences that I had faced were read out at the end of the district convention of that year, 1992. So I sort of, I've not really discussed the opposition that I felt, but it was as bad as some people get in when they're put in prison and things like that. It was a daily battle and gauntlet of fear, and I never knew how it was going to be when I came home. And as I said, it culminated in me leaving everything and under police escort and becoming homeless. with 2 children. So, you know, I put up a fight to be in the Watchtower and for what I believe was right. And, you know, to find out that I've been through all those things and all that, and for some religion that is not God's organisation is a very bitter pill to swallow. I feel very relieved that I'm out of the organisation. But one of the things that Karen wanted to talk to me about on her interview was because she disassociated herself and wrote a letter, she suffered the terrible consequences of the shunning from her friends, and I know she's finding this very difficult. And I've not faced that because, as I keep saying, I am not disassociated and I'm not disfellowshipped either. However, I am no longer one of Jehovah's Witnesses. I went to the Lord. I've completely renounced all association with that faith and that religious organisation. I am no longer part of it. I don't have any contact with anything to do with the organisation itself. I still see a few of my friends who are in the org. And this is, as I say on Karen's channel, it brings challenges no matter what you do. If you disassociate yourself, you've got the challenges that go along with the shunning and everything else. But you have got the freedom of speech to say and do what you like. If you become a fader and you still have contact, you haven't got the freedom of speech that you have if you're disassociated, but you've still got the association that you can still have with your family and friends. But you do have, you are restricted as to what you can say at any particular time. So there are advantages and consequences to both ways of dealing with leaving the Watchtower and exiting that system. And I feel for me, I've made the right decision. I researched it. I did consider writing a letter of disassociation and going down that route. Having watched videos of people who looked at both sides of it, I felt in the end that this way was the best way for me to get out. The COVID gave me the exit program to get onto the Zoom and just not return. And to be fair to myself, when one of my friends did say to one of the elders in passing some of the things that I'd said, the elders were quick to get in touch and say to me, we need to come and see you. We've heard rumours have been flying around about what you're saying and what you're doing. And I just turned it back on themselves and said to them, well, you know, my sister-in-law committed suicide, my brother died, my mum passed away, and all in the space of a very short period of time. And I said, no, elder, no one's been to offer me a crumb of comfort from the organisation side of it. Yes, my friends who were close witnesses did, but that was it. There was, you know, others in the congregation didn't. And the elders certainly never did. And I turned it round and I said to them, you've heard some gossip that I've said and done something, you wanting to come. I said, but you didn't want to come when I was when I lost my relative, my mum, my brother and my sister-in-law. And I said, if you've got evidence to bring to the table of what I'm supposed to have done to bring these rumours about, then bring the evidence. And if you haven't got any evidence, then stay the hell away from me and leave me alone. And that's exactly what has happened. They have took me off the Facebook, the WhatsApp groups for the ministry, and for association and things like that. They took me off the elders, and they've not come near me since. And that to me tells me that I've been put out by them. I am not disfellowshipped by them, but I've been put out by them. And they don't want me as part of their organisation. They've made that very clear. So I'm not a Jehovah's Witness. I'm not affiliated as a Jehovah's Witness either. So I don't consider myself as Jehovah's Witness. As I said, I've renounced it. The Lord is answering my prayers. I'm getting my prayers answered all the time. And I know that I wouldn't if I was still classed as being a Jehovah's Witness, because the occult side of that religion. And one of the things that I've recently done is a spiritual cleanse because of the occult connections with the Watchtower, and it being a secret society with its links with the Freemasons and other things. There are curses, I call them, that come from being under that system and being in that organisation. And so I had to go and sort this out, because there were things that I didn't feel were right. And since doing that, as I can only describe it as being a bit like a black cloud that was hanging over me, and I couldn't seem to break through, even though I was a born-again Christian. And since doing this cleanse, it has lifted. The cloud has lifted the influence of the demonic spirit that exists within the Watchtower and that people are under, and I was under it, has now lifted and gone since doing this, and I feel completely free of the Watchtower influence. So I just wanted to clear that up and just explain to you and to Karen's viewers that come to my channel that I don't consider myself, I am not a Jehovah's Witness. I'm not an affiliated witness. I don't have anything whatsoever to do with the organisation, and I have renounced everything to do with it as sin and apologised to the Lord and left it behind. And so, the Bible talks about repentance and turning around from, and that's what I've done. It's exactly what I've done. So I'm just delighted to have been able to be interviewed by Karen, and it stirred up quite a few things and a few memories of the past and things that I've been through to get where I am now. And one of the things I just wanted to talk to you about is I went to the supermarket on Sunday, and I bumped into a Jehovah's Witness who was, she's a lovely, lovely person. They call her Naomi, and she's been brought up in the organisation. I've watched her grow up, and she's married with children in the organisation. She was just so nice, and she just said, I'm so happy to see you. I don't know whether she knew that I was going or wasn't going, but we just had, she knew I hadn't been to the Kingdom Hall because I was dressed in jeans and a t-shirt, and she said, I've just come back from the meeting. And but it just reminded me that I thought if I was disfellowshipped, then she would have completely ignored me. And she probably went home and said to her dad, who's an elder, I see Marcy, I saw her in the supermarket, and you don't know what it might have made them talk about, because they do know that I don't go anymore. They do know that I was a regular pioneer for the 10 years and all the rest of it. And they must be thinking, well, what is it that's made her leave? You know, so the door's always open to them to come and ask. And as I like it to be that way. So I saw her, but, you know, so it's a bittersweet thing. As I said, it's there's no easy way of dealing with the fallout of being a Jehovah's Witness. And then yesterday I was driving home, and the lady who I studied with and brought me in to the organisation, I do mention her from time to time. Her name's Glynis, and she's been a regular pioneer around about 40 years now, and I've not seen her for a while. She has been round to see me. She's the one who said, why aren't you coming? Oh, don't tell me. And I was driving in front of her car, behind her car. I thought, I'm sure that's Glynis's car. And my car is a bright orange car. You can't miss it. If you see that car, you know it's me in it. And she saw the car and she pulled up, and so I pulled up and got out, and we had a little conversation. And she said, I'm really happy to see you, you're looking well. And I was happy to be able to do that. But I could see and sense the watchtower, like I've just said, the cloud that you're under over her. I could feel the negative energy of the watchtower over. It's quite interesting. But she did say to me, we never did get together for that Chinese, and she said, I really would like us to just get together and have a meal. And so I'm happy that, because I didn't know whether she'd people had said to her, don't get in touch with her, don't associate with her. She was the one I asked about in my video. She's got the yearbook, and she said no, and I've not heard from her since. But she was very happy to see me. She asked about how Paul was, and how we were getting on with the plans for the wedding and things like that. So I was happy to see her. I pray. I watched a video about prayer, and it's very interesting because I prayed about her every single day since. You know, as it says, and Jesus said, keep knocking, keep asking, keep praying. And I saw, watched a YouTube video about someone who did this, about a member of their family who was an atheist. And she said, regardless, she continued praying, and every day she prayed continually for 2 years, and nothing seemed to happen. And then suddenly, this relative asked her some questions. She had it led to a discussion, and she became looking into Christianity, and she's now a Christian. So it took, 2 years of continual prayer. And I have prayed every single day for Glynis to wake up, and for me to be able to break through, and for something to, the Holy Spirit to open her eyes. And maybe this is the start of it, I don't know. It was just very strange that I saw her, she was, driving in front of me, and as I passed her car, she was turned off. She saw my car and pulled up, and she knew that I'd stop and get out, which I did. So, watch this space. I don't know how it's going to work out, but as I say, I wouldn't be able to do this if I was disassociated. And it's working. I think it's working in both ways. Both of us, me and Karen, are both dealing with this in the best way that we think, and it's having an effect both ways. So I just wanted to say to my viewers, please, if you're interested in watching the interview, it's a fun interview, and we talk about many different things, and I'd like my viewers to go ahead and support Karen in her YouTube journey and in her channel to help support. And as she said, we all want to bring the tower down. We know it's not God's organisation. It's never been God's organisation. And the Jehovah's Witnesses that are in there, we were those witnesses, 4 or 5 years ago. We were well in it. We were, we wouldn't have listened and things like that, and now we're free. And so I try to have the compassion of the Christ in dealing with Jehovah's Witnesses. I want to reach them, I want to help them get away, and I want them to get to Christ, to the right place where they need to be. So I'm privileged to be able to be part of that. This is my ministry now. I speak to far more people than I ever did when I was going from door to door. Mine's not a big YouTube channel. My videos don't get, I get a couple of hundred views for my videos. Karen gets thousands of views for her videos. But we are both reaching far more people than whatever we did in the org. And if we can help people to deal with the fallout, to come to Christ or to get free, then that's all a job that's, every video I make, every video that Karen makes, or any of the ex-JW community makes, is going to help bring a brick out of the tower and help bring it down, because it brings no honour to God, it dishonours God, it dishonours Christ, and it can't be allowed to keep going on. So that's what I just wanted to say. And I'm going to be making a video about disfellowshipping next, and I'm doing the research now. I'm going to be putting that up in the next day or two, so please look out for that. It's a very sore subject, and I feel very passionately about it. I want to talk about this to my viewers. Okay, so I just want to say thank you. I'm just having my morning coffee. I'm just going to go off and do a bit more research for my video. And so until the next time, I will say bye.